Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby with Fitness is Medicine, and today I'm going to give you a workout you can do with one tool, a medicine ball. So if you don't have a medicine ball in your home, you can use a playground ball, but most likely it would be easier to use a dumbbell of some sort. So maybe, like a 5 or 8 pound dumbbell. If you don't have a dumbbell, you can use a water jug for most of these exercises too. Everyone but the second one. The second one would probably be easier to use, maybe like a throw pillow. So you'll see what I mean. Okay, we're gonna get started. I've got a couple different weights of medicine balls. So if you do have an option of different weights, make sure that maybe you have them handy in case you find one of these to be a little more challenging than the other. So I'm going to use my bigger medicine ball for this first one. We're going to do some squats and then take it overhead into a press. So it's a full body workout. We're getting lots of different muscles in this one exercise. So I'm going to stand with that ball right in between my feet, just like this. Make sure I'm not going to hit anything behind me. I want my feet nice and wide, and then when I sit back in that squat, my hips are going to go back. I'm going to grab that ball, I'm going to take it and press it overhead. All right, ready? Squat down, pick up that ball, press it overhead. Now, you don't have to set it down each time. So we're going to use that weight to lower to the ground and then press it all the way overhead. So notice that I'm sitting all the way back. Take that to my chest, press it overhead. Now, like I said, if you don't have a medicine ball at home, use a dumbbell. You can use, just hold it on the edges like this, set it down between your feet, press it overhead just like I'm doing with the ball. So you don't have to have a ball for this one. But this gets lots of different muscles in one exercise. I really like combination exercises because really, you could do this one, do a few sets of this exercise, and you've got most of the muscles in your body worked out. So you're working your quads and your core and your biceps and your shoulders and your triceps. You're working a lot of different muscles here at once. Your glutes, lots of different things working. And because you're working so many muscles, you're probably noticing you might be getting a little short of breath and your heart rate's up a little bit. So that's great. Okay. Next, the next one you'll see is not the one to use a dumbbell with. I would grab a throw pillow if you don't have anything like this available. Also, if you have a really bouncy ball, what we're going to do is ball slams. So you're going to take that medicine ball, hoist it up overhead, and slam it down to the ground as hard as you can. Now this is a really great stress reliever. So if you're stressed out over the holidays, or you're stressed out over 2020, or you're stressed out over whatever, this is a really fun one to do. So what I like to do is I get up all the way, so it's kind of opposite of what we were just doing. I like to get up on my tiptoes and slam it down as hard as I can. Now, you have to be quick, depending on how bouncy your ball is, so that it doesn't come back up and slam you in the face. Now, when it gets out of your way and you have to go pick it up, that's okay, you're doing another squat. Make sure you pick it up with good form and you don't bend over at the waist. These two back to back are pretty challenging. I did one less exercise today. Sometimes I do a couple more. Today I'm doing a little bit fewer because these two combined really work a lot of your muscles. We're going to do 10 altogether. If this is really challenging for you, just do 5. I think I've got one more. Slam it down. Okay, really good. Now, we're going to lower to the ground and do some Russian twists. I am not going to use that ball for my Russian twist. I've got a little bit smaller ball. I think it weighs close to the same, but it's hard to do with that really big ball. So if you do have options, grab a little bit smaller ball. We're going to do some Russian twists on the ground. Yes, you can do this with a dumbbell, and you can also do it with no weight. So we're going to sit down, Knees bent, your heels are just resting on the ground. And we're gonna take that ball right here, lean back slightly, and I want you to twist and touch that ball to the ground on either side of you. We're gonna do that 10 times on each side. 4, 5. Now, if you have any back pain with this, don't use a weight. So you can use, or you can use a really small weight, but you can also do this without a weight. The other thing you can do is put a towel right underneath the small of your back here, right in your sacrum, or a small pillow to kind of give you a little bit of support. So make sure you make those adjustments before continuing on and possibly hurting yourself. So get that small ball. You can press pause anytime and come back to this. Get a small, like soft medicine ball, or a rolled up towel works really well. 9 and 10. Good. All right, those are Russian twists. Now we're going to stand back up and we're going to do single leg stance tip overs. So if you have a smaller weight here, I would suggest using it. A little bit of balance. This one takes some control. I'm going to use my bigger ball just because I'm going to use my smaller ball. So all you're going to do is hold the ball right at your waist. Let's get this lined up a little better, a little bit higher. Okay, so we're going to hold that ball right at your waist. Stand on one foot and just tip that ball to the ground. So we're not going to hold the ball out in front of us or anything. We're just going to let the weight kind of lower us to the ground and come back up. Now, notice that I'm keeping everything really tight here, and I'm tipping over, trying to keep my leg that's tipping back in line with my torso. So if you only go to here, that's okay. I don't want you to force it. I don't want you to go so far that you feel like you're going to fall over. The other thing is you can do this without a weight and do it next to a counter, so you can hang on next to your kitchen sink or your treadmill or a sturdy kitchen chair or something like that. So this is a really big balance one. This also gets your hamstrings and your glutes by having that counterweight in front of you. This is sort of also like a little bit of a golfer pickup, right? So if you're bending over to pick up your ball, nice and slow, just using that weight, just letting it rest here. I don't need it out here. That's going to be a lot on your arms. But you can do this with a dumbbell too, if you've got that control. Your supporting hip that you're standing on, that one leg that you're standing on, is getting a lot of stability here. I'm going to do one more. So you can either do these for like 30 seconds, or you can, do 10. If they're really challenging for you, do 5. But you can also, like I said, do them without a weight. You can just do those slow tip overs without a weight. If you have low back pain, don't use a weight here. If you do want to use a weight, if you've had a history, it's really good to work these muscles, but not if you are currently having any of that pain. But it's good to work these muscles, but this is a safer position because this leg is going out. See, that's where this becomes safer, and you're keeping everything in line. So you're not going to tip over like this. You don't want to round those shoulders and let that low back stop working. We want everything engaged, really strong, holding those shoulders nice and level, keeping that back nice and flat. Remember, no rounding that back. Keep them nice and flat. Nice and slow, both directions. Keep breathing. Notice that standing leg is working really hard, so this is a really great balance exercise. Good hip stabilizer. We're working your core, we're working your glutes, your hamstrings. Lots of things firing here. We're going to do one more. And good. Okay. Now we're going to lower back down to the floor, onto your back. So let me get my camera back down to the floor. And we're gonna do a chest press with that ball. So if you have a dumbbell that you're using, you can use that, no problem. I'm gonna use this bigger ball that I was using for the beginning. So lying on your back, knees bent, flat, feet flat on the floor, flatten that back to the floor so that you have that good position for your back. Take the ball on the sides of your hands a little bit under and just press straight up. So a little bit of a chest press. And I want you to do this nice and slowly because this probably isn't going to be super challenging as far as the weight is concerned. But doing it slowly, especially on the way down, that eccentric contraction that I talk about sometimes, nice and slowly. And if you do this nice and slowly, you're probably feeling it in your arms a little bit, especially after those first two that we did with the med ball press over your head and then the ball slams. So we're getting a lot of arm workout today. Little stress reliever with those ball slams. Like I said, a throw pillow works great for that. And then you have to bend over and pick it up every time, but make sure you bend both at the waist and at the knees. All right. I think I've done a few more than 10, but like I said, I'd rather have you use a lighter weight, go slower, and do more than 10 than use something that's too heavy. So this is a little light for this exercise, but I'm really starting to feel it now because of the slow and because of the increased repetitions. All right, good job, everybody. That's a big one. I hope you enjoy it. And like I said, if you don't have a medicine ball, use a dumbbell and a throw pillow. You can make it work for you. Even with that balance exercise, you don't necessarily need a weight at all. Okay, have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you on Friday.